Hi, welcome back to my YouTube tutorials. This is ABN Graphics. Yes, on today's tutorial, I am not going to give you much on this. It's just going to be a simple funeral announcement poster or a flyer. As you know, we have sadly lost one of our former president. That is former president of Republic of Nigeria. That's Mahammudu Buhari. Yes, and on this, I got the opportunity to show you how to design a simple funeral poster using Photoshop, and I'm going to give you a template of that so that you can also use it on any how you want it. You get that? How you get that? Yes. So this particular legend has gone today. That is 13th July 2005. As a Muslim, we say Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. May Allah bless. May Allah forgive him, and also may he rest in perfect peace. You get that? Yes. So however, let us get to our business, what we need to do on this particular distance. You get that? Yes. So first of all, I'm just going to go to my file, and then I'll create a document, and this particular document I'm going to create is just going to be a mere document. I don't need anything much on that, so I don't have to make it somehow a distance, because I'm not going to use it. You get that? Yes. So I'm just going to use a simple document over there. So I'll just leave something like this, then I'll click create over here for me to have something like this, and then I'll try and rotate it and that to be a portrait form, just like this for me. I don't want it to be too distant. You get that? However, I can even decide to reduce the distance a little bit so that it won't be such longer and not to this thing. You get that? Yes. So I think something like this is okay for me. You get that? Yes. So the first thing I'm going to do is to import in his picture, and here is it. I've already removed the background, and that's okay for me. So I'm just going to pick it and then place it over here, and then I'll move it somewhere here, and I think that is okay for me. You get that? Yes. And then I'll create a background. I'm going to click on this, and then I'm just going to get some kind of background over there so that it will look nice for me. You get that? Yes. So first of all, let me go to my file, and then I'll come to, when I click on file, I'm coming to place a link over here, and then I'll look for any kind of background. I have downloaded so many pictures of him, but I just need some background to save as a purpose of that particular distance, so that I'll have my distance. So let me pick up this particular background that I just downloaded, and I'm going to transform it a little bit, and then I'll transform here to a little bit. That's also okay for me. And then I'll try and move it to the top. Yes, I'll try and move it to the top, and that's okay for me. And then over here, I'm just going to pick up what is the name? I'm just going to add some color, some kind of color over there, so that it will look good for me. So I'll pick up a rectangular a rectangular shape over here, then I'll just draw something like this over there. You get that? And then over there, I'm going to, let me close out this first, and as you can see, it's black, so I'm going to change the color to something like somewhere around yellow, and I think this will be okay for me. And then I'll make this invisible, and this one I'll change the blending mode to soft light over here, and that's so cool for me. The next thing again I'm going to do is that I'm just going to introduce a gradient map over there, so that it will come clear for me. First of all, let me try and adjust my Photoshop like this, so that I can get all the things I want to do, so that you can also see everything I'm doing on this. You get that? Yes. So I'm just going to click on this, and then I'll add the gradient map over there. So this, I'm just going to change the color to somewhere this color. That's cool. And then over this place, I'm going to use a color like this over there, and maybe let me make it yellow, and this, and that will be okay for me. You get that? So I'll move it to the bottom over here, and then I'll have something like this over there. You get that? Yes. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm just going to group this then I'll call it a BG, that's background for me. You get that? Yes. And then the next thing again I'm going to do over there is that I'm just going to put up the write up over there, and that's so cool for me. You get that? Yes. And then as you know, okay, let me end up with this and I'll show you another way of creating a background. You get that? Yes. So with this, I'm thinking I'm okay for that. I'm okay with that. So I'll go and pick up this thing over here. Over there, I'm just going to pick up this. That's the last thing, but that's why I want to start with. I'll pick up that and then I'll draw some kind of shape over here, just like that. Okay. And then that particular shape, I'm just going to make it white. So that's FF for the code. 3F will give me white. So that's the code for the white color, FF. You get that? Yes, I'll move it a little bit over there. And then I'm just going to paste in the date that this particular person or the disease died. So I'll just have it somewhere like that. And then I'll have it just like this. Okay, then I'll try and reduce the size a little bit so that it will go down just like that. And then I'll change different. I'm going to use Karina over there, and then I'll make sure that the black comes out very well. So I'm going to use pure black, and this will be okay for me, and I'll have it just like that. You get that? Yes. And the next thing again I'm going to do over there is that I'm coming over to my these things over here, and then I'll pick up the write up of the inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. That's the write up in Arabic. So I'm just going to pick that one, and then I'll click over here to paste it. But however, I want to use Arabic font. So there is one Arabic font that I downloaded called Amiri Quran. So I'm just searching for Amiri Quran, and this is that. Amiri Quran can easily give me the fonts. Nothing will change from there. You get that? Yes. And this will be okay for me. Then I'll try and move it to somewhere here. That's so cool for me. And the next thing I'm going to do is to copy the English form or the transliteration form, and then I'll paste that one too over here, just like that. And then I'm good to go, just like that. And then I'll change the font size. I'll change the font from there to Bebas New, and then I'll make it somewhere 11, just like that. You get that? Let me zoom out for you to see, so that it will just be like this. You get that? Yes. And the next thing again I'm going to do over there is that I'm just going to pick up the name Mahammudu. That's the former president name, Mahammudu, and then I'll paste that one too over there, and then I'll come over again, then I'll pick Buhari, then I'll paste that one too over here, and then let me try and do my adjustment. So over here I'm just going to make it somewhere 16, and then this I'm going to change this font to Karina over there, and then it should be somewhere here, and then I'll pick up the Buhari over there, and then I'll make the size 62. It's so big, and it should be that. You get that? Yes. And then this should follow, and then this should follow as well. You get that? Yes. So I'm going to increase the size to somewhere 18, and that is okay. And then I'll make sure that it's aligned, and then I'll make sure it's somewhere here. And then the next thing again I'm going to do is to come up with the dates, the date he was born and the date he died, those years that I'm going to pick off there. So over here I'm just going to paste it over here, just like that, and then I'll have it just like that. And then I'll try and reduce the size to somewhere 11. That's so cool. Then I'll introduce some kind of shape, rectangular shape in there, just like this. You get that? Yes. And then I'm going to move it to the bottom, and I'll make the black over there somehow not that black. It should be somehow grew black over there, and I'll try and change the color over there to FF, and that's white. And then I'll try and introduce another line over here to divide those distance over there. You get that? And then I'm going to change that one to font to this. This should come to the bottom of all the shapes, just like that. You get that? Yes. And then I have that. The next thing again I'm going to do is that I'll click on the background just over here, and then I'll lock it so that I can be working freely without having more issues. So I'm just going to select the whole of this and then make it and align it centered, left centered, and then right centered, so that it will be like this. You get that? And this is okay for me. You get that? The next thing again I'm going to do over there is going to pick the edges over here. You get that? So first of all, I'm just going to draw something like this. Draw something like this. That's okay for me. You get that? And then I'll try and make it somewhere. This is too big. I'll make it somewhere. Let's say 10. Let me do it like this so that you understand. I'm just going to make it somehow small. The curve shouldn't be that bigger, so I'm just trying to make it somehow. So I think this is okay for me. You get that? This is okay for me. And then my align is also following, and I love that. You get that? Yes. So the next thing again I'm going to do is to go over and then copy this, the whole of this over there. Copy it, and then I'll come and paste it over here, just like that, and I'll move it into the shape here. And then I want to rework on those things, so I'll just make it H, the past tense, like this, and then the years to, I'm just going to make it small letters, and that's okay. And then this, I'm just going to increase the size a bigger. This is too big. I'm just going to increase the size a little bit, not that bigger. You get that? Yes. And then I can have something like this over there. You get that? Yes. This is so cool. And then I'll try and use let me see, which one should I use to fit in what I want? Amiri, yes, refer, this, you know, all of them, it looks good. All of them looks good. Okay, I'll end with this, then I'll have something like this over there. This is so cool. You get that? Yes. And then if all this is done like that, I'm getting it just good. The next thing again I'm going to do over there is that I'm going to import in a what should I call it, a frame, just like that. I'll import in a frame just like this. It has not, okay, just like this, and I'll try and reduce it a little bit down, and then let me click on my decision to fill up, just like that. You get that? Yes. And then over here I'll just have it just like this. You get that? So I'll try and group the edges, just like that, so that I can move it freely how I want. If I want to move it, I can easily move it. Yes, just like this. You get that? Then I will duplicate the former president image, just like that. Then I'll try and transform it a little bit down, just like this, so that it can contain here, and I can have it just like that over there. And then I'll introduce a shape to cover out his back, just like that, and then it should be black, and then I'll move it to somewhere here. That looks so cool. And then I'm going to introduce a black and white this thing texture over there, so that I'll right click on that and then create a clipping mask in, just like that. I just want it to apply to only the small image, so I have to create that black and white this thing, and then I'll clip it in the picture. You get that? Just like that. And this looks so cool for me. Then over there, I'll group it and then I'll call it image. That looks so cool. And then I'll try and move it. Sorry. Let me see. Okay. Where is it? Okay, it's here. So this is not in this thing. Once it come in, just like that. Yes. So now I can now move it to how I want it to be, and this is cool for me. So over here, I'll try and drag it to somewhere here so that it will be aligned, and this looks so cool for me. I'm just going to save it to Buhari, just like that. You get that? Yes. Then I'll move it to the top. Sorry, just like this. You get that? Yes. I can't even try to do it a little bit, and then his image, I can push it to the top just like that so that he will stand out very, very well. Then I'll transform him a little bit so that he'll stand out very well, and this looks so cool. You get that? Yes. So after you get all this done, this looks so cool and this looks so simple. You don't need much on that, and you can use this as a funeral template. And then I'm just going to group it like this, and then I'll just make this one, that's one, poster 1, and 2, I'll make it poster 2. Over this, I'm just going to lock it, and then I'll go in, and then I'll ungroup this. So with this, I'm just going to change the blending mode from soft to luminous, and that's so cool. And then I'll try and change this color to black, just like that. Then I'll change the gradient to black. You get that? Yes. So I'm just going to change the color to black. Let's say, let me use pure black over there, and then I'll change this to the grill black color, and this looks so cool for me. And then the image over there, I'm just going to add some kind of Gaussian blur to it, just like this, so that it will look cool for me. I think this way is okay for me, and I can take this as a distance too over there. And then on this, I can change it to luminous, so that one too will also have some kind of black and white texture over there, and this also looks so much beautiful. You get that? Yes. So sometimes if you have a client who is very difficult in understanding when you design something one, try and design so many things. You get that? Try and put your hand on so many things, send to the client. But certain clients, you don't need to give them the chance or the opportunity to choose from. They will give you problems. You get that? Yes. So you just need to try and work around those, get to know some of them and get to know how they want. Some client need more them to choose from, and some need just one. So try and have those kind of people in your circle, and then you can work with them. Thank you very much for watching. This is ABN Graphics. Have a nice day. Bye bye.